Hello and welcome to the Gfinity Arena for round 3 of the V10 R League. This week sees the battle of the midfield in Group B. It's Aston Martin, Aramco, Cognizant Esports versus Oracle Red Bull Racing Esports. Will Aston Martin be able to gain some long overdue points on the board, or will Red Bull cement their place in the top 3 of their group? This is the V10 R League. Yes, expect more of that incredible action and expect more incredible words from their mouths. Nick Hamilton, Hayden Gunn is my guest for today, joining me. I'm so excited for this, Hayden. Welcome back. Your debut was last week. Now firmly established, feet under the table. Looking forward to this match with Aston Martin.
I am, because there's a lot to play for between these two teams. Yet to really get their foot in there. Of course, Red Bull already have the 2 points on the table, but you know, they're going to be fighting for that third position, so I'm very excited. Fighting
for airtime with Hayden Gullis, Nick.
I am.
He's taller.
Just trying to get him out of the way.
Just bit by bit.
He's a big lad.
Yeah, he is, and he's gone for Aston Martin colours today. You've not gone for Red Bull. Does that mean you're neutral as to who you want to see win today?
Of course, I'm always neutral. Always neutral, Tom. I'm just up for a good time. Really? Well, I just want both teams to have a good result, enjoy themselves. Oh, you wanted to go for a good time?
Yeah, I want to have a really nice rapport with you two gentlemen. Let's have a laugh today and watch some incredible action. Listen, for those of you at home that might be new to V10 format, it's a little bit unique, so we'll take you through it. We're going to be racing 2 circuits in our matchup today, with 2 formats of racing taking place. The first format of each track is the relay race, where drivers race one at a time, trying to complete 4 laps before the opposing team does. One of the drivers has to do 2 laps. Drivers swap out after each lap, and the pit stop changeovers can be challenging, as we've seen in previous weeks. It's a technical race that requires a lot of team strategy. Then we'll be moving on to the second race format of each track, the team race. This is an all-out 3v3 straight race to the finish line, with teams scoring points on their finishing positions. Done and dusted. Up to speed? Brilliant. So that's what's going to happen. It ceases to disappoint in terms of the action. We just saw a moment ago Team Fordzilla not live up to those moments that they could have seized and potentially put a point on the board. What do Aston Martin need to do today then, Nick, to get some points off Red Bull?
I think they need to be on it pretty much out of the starting blocks and try not to drop any points whatsoever. They haven't really had the best of starts to this season, so they want to make sure that they capitalise on every opportunity that they're given. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm really excited. Obviously, I wasn't here last week, so I haven't seen Aston Martin in action. So it's going to be interesting for me to watch and really excited to commentate on them.
Yes, it was a shame we missed you last week. However, Aston Martin have got Manuel Biancolila, there he is, from our F1 Esports viewing, and Simon Weigand. There's talent there, but again, this Red Bull team, off the back of 2 3-1 losses, they will be chomping at the bit to see, I guess, Aston Martin as a bit of, this is 4 points for us.
Yeah, I mean, they've gone up against the 2 teams, as Kevin Siggy said earlier, are the insane teams in this championship. So, you know, Red Bull are going to be wanting to try and cement themselves as the best of the rest, and maybe try and get through later on in the stages in the series to really challenge Mercedes and Redline again. But for now, you know, they've got to go and attack the team ahead of them and not do that and go skywards.
Yeah, be careful. When you race against Mercedes, you may go orbital. But there were moments where they had an opportunity, and in that team race, Joni Skormula qualifying P1 and just not, well, being able to do enough to make sure he got a point there. This is Group B. This is the standings. Team Redline, we saw them earlier on. Don't panic. We'll be able to show you some highlights later on in the day. But there we go, 10 points at the top. Mercedes only raced twice so far, but there you have it. Red Bull down there. To get 4 points, they are very much right back in it. And for Aston Martin, they've got a chance to cement their place. This will be their second race today. Once we've watched that, we'll be delighted by the talents of Suzuki Team Jacer, who look very strong this year, and R8G Esports with Williams Esports taking on BMW Sim Racing Team, your current reigning champions. Don't know why I went into boxing there, but that will be a juicy contest. Nick, it's not easy to come off the back of a loss. Both teams have yet to win, so they know that at the end of the day, it could be a 2-2 draw, and we've not seen that so far. But this is a real opportunity for you to put points on the board. Do you go into this race differently as the teams?
No, you treat every matchup, every race exactly the same as the previous one. Obviously, they're both coming off of some defeats, but that's the past. You can only change the future now, they just want to try and get as many points as possible. Points is absolutely everything in the V10R League. Even one point can change the scenario for all teams.
You will be fangirling, I believe, for Aston Martin because of the colours you're wearing today. I'm going to go with Red Bull. And of course, we heard from Nick. He will be very neutral for this. We're seeing on the screen there a close-up of Manuel Biancolida's headset, which I like. He's showing us the gold. That is his winning mentality. And now he's not going to be on the camera. There you go. He is incredibly talented and showed he was standing out for me as that sort of team captain to drive the others and perform.
Yeah, well, Team Redline is such a great team, as we've already seen today, and so is Kevin Siggy. And Biancalila was the one person from that team that was able to take the fight to them last time round. But he needs to be backed up by his teammates, and you always need to be. So it's up to Sanchez and Weigang to be there in the fight, and that's how they're going to take the points away from Red Bull.
Liam Parnell, I have it on good authority, has now come down after that incident at the Onama. Yeah, he's a little bit shaken up, of course. He's in the middle of your screen right now. And it was brilliant to watch his Twitter as much as catching up on at V10R League as well on Twitter. And he was showing the contact. It was just a setting in the game. It was a moment. He didn't break at all, got hit by Jarno. Joni Tormela has got it in the locker. We know that. But he's going to need another teammate to step up. Could it be Liam Parnell today?
I hope so. I hope so for the sake of the team, because obviously when you go into a new season, it's new teammates for Joni Tormela as well. He wants to know that he can count on them in difficult scenarios, when the pressure's really on. So I hope that both Parnell and Kasdorf actually step up to the plate and can carry the team forward.
Okay, we haven't seen Mugello for quite a while. Let's find out if we'll be racing there today for the picks and bans. The V10R League allows the teams. You can't see right now, but Hayden Gullis's arms are in the air. Mugello has been picked. So we will be going to Spa-Francorchamps, or as I like to call it, Silverstone, and we'll have Mugello. Straight away, Hayden, what's your thoughts on that?
Wow, we are finally going to Mugello. Again, I'm surprised they picked it because we spoke about it last week. The Mugello is one of those tracks that's got a lot of elevation change, a lot of blind corners, and a lot of room for mistakes. So that's why it looked like teams didn't want to pick it. But Red Bull, they're like, okay, do you know what? Let's just do it. Let's go there. So I'm very excited.
Round two, Aston Martin did race at Spa, and then Red Bull raced in round two as well in Spa, but neither team has raced in Mugello. If you haven't practiced, what's the circuit like to race on?
What, Mugello?
Yeah.
I have no idea because I've never raced there.
What?
No, never raced.
This is going to be a first for you.
I know. I know. I'm so sorry to let you down on that one.
Hey, you've not let me down at all.
But obviously, I've been here for a couple of years now with V10R League.
See what you did there, Hayden. See what you did there.
And from experience, Mugello doesn't really offer that many opportunities for overtaking. Turn one, it seems like there's opportunity potentially around the outside. We've seen that a couple of times. But because it's very high speed, downforce and dirty air can really come into it as well. So once you get within a second or so, it's quite hard to follow. So I don't like to be the bearer of bad news. I don't think it's going to be exciting at Mugello. But, who am I?
When you get a sparkler and you put it out and everyone's like, oh, any more? And you go, no. Tell you what, Nick Hamilton has absolutely we're excited now to head to Mugello. But don't worry, before that, we'll head to Spa. We'll see you after the break. Thank you very much for joining us in the V10 League. I'm Tom Deacon. I had to think about that for a second, but my guests, I don't have to think about it at all. Nick Hamilton, Hayden Gullis will be joining me for the next 2 races between Aston Martin and Red Bull. This is very exciting. We are going to get into it in just a moment. The first race we will have is the team relay. Now, if you have never watched the V10 League and you're saying, Tom, please, may you break down the relay race? Oh, yeah, I can. Here it is. In the relay race, all 3 drivers in the team must complete 1 lap each, with drivers swapping out of the car during pit stops. 1 driver per team must complete an extra lap, known as the Joker lap. A Joker lap can be taken at any time during the relay race by any driver on the team. The team that completes all their laps first, including the Joker lap, is declared the winner of the relay race to take 1 point. The picks and bans have already happened between these 2 teams, and we are going to be racing in Spa and Mugello. So, relay race, getting down to it. What do the teams need to do? Not long before we go trackside, what can Simon Weigang, Bianco Lila, and Alejandro Sanchez do to get that point today, Hayden?
Oh, beat the other team. It's as simple as that. You know, They've just got to be quick. Great insight as always over here. They've just got to be as quick as possible and be using their Joker lap to the right time. You know, give it to the fastest driver and hope that they get free air. But if the team uses their Joker lap as well when their best driver is currently out, maybe you need to switch it up, change the tactics. So it's going to be interesting to see the difference between the 2 teams.
And those pit stops, they seem to have ironed out any problems that we had in round 1 as we get to that race. That could be the turning point. If the team's ahead and leading, we might be thinking, this is it, it's in the bag. And then all of a sudden, a bad pit change can change everything, Nick.
It can indeed. But Tom, we're going straight into the
No time for the answer.
We are in Spa, or is it Silverstone? Lights are on, engines revving, and we're going racing. And it is Aston Martin versus Red Bull. It looks like the Aston Martin going right around the outside of turn 1. Can't quite put it off of Bianca Lila. Is going to really tuck into that slipstream as they head down in towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Parnell has got a car behind him as they go through Eau Rouge and Radion. Will it happen again? No, Bianca Lila goes really wide off the corner and is going to tuck right up behind that Red Bull car as they head down in towards the Lecombe section. Can he go right around the outside? Parnell closes the door on Bianca Lila, and for now Parnell leads the way through the Lecombe section, but the Aston Martin right on the tail as they go down in towards Rivage through this long sweeping hairpin, and it's still Parnell who leads Bianca Lila for the time being through the corner with no name and then down in towards Pouon. But so far Bianca Lila has done a really good job, but Parnell has just sort of seen everything, hasn't he?
Yeah, Parnell's trying to see everything off, almost a lot of pressure on him. Bianca Lila is sort of running out of time if he wants to just start making a move. Obviously, down the Kemmel Straight was his opportunity using the slipstream, but Parnell was very smart to that, and yes, only 2/10. So this really puts pressure on strategy when they're going to use the Joker lap. Now Bianca Lila's got a good run. He's down the inside. And as we go through Blanchimont, it's going to be Bianca Lila taking the lead as we head into the bus stop chicane for the first time. Will Liam Parnell try and send up the inside? No, he thinks twice about it. And let's see what happens. Parnell into the pits, and Bianca Lila starts his Joker lap.
70 seconds on the clock for the Red Bull team as they head into the pit lane. But for Bianca Lila, it is qualifying time. He is going to go as fast as he possibly can on this lap to make sure that when Aston Martin come through the pit lane and Red Bull take their Joker lap, that Aston Martin stay ahead. It was a great fight between the 2 drivers, but can that continue? Last time out last week, it looked like Bianca Lila was the strongest out of the 3 drivers. So it's up to Sanchez and Weigang when they jump in the car later on to prove themselves and show this isn't just a one-man team. Aston Martin are here for the fight. But for now, Joni Tormala now jumping into the car. And if you remember last time out as well, Joni Tormala was the one who beat Mercedes at the team race in Spa-Francorchamps. So Joni Tormala definitely has the pace around here, and he's going to be using that experience today, isn't he?
Oh, he is, for sure. Joni Tormala, he has got so much experience at so many different levels. He knows exactly what he's doing. Just watching Bianca Lila here, looking at his face, with his webcam and realizing he's very, very calm, very collected, doing a great job out there. Looks like a really good Joker lap from him as he is heading into the final part of his lap. What a great stint from Biancalila, managing to take the lead away from Liam Parnell, as he's going to head into the pit lane now, making sure he stops the car and doesn't get done for speeding in the pit lane, as we now see Joni Tormela. No mistakes from him, no donuts from him either, which would be a very bad thing to do right now. He's doing the right thing, driving very, very well. No mistakes so far as we ride on board with Joni. And a man of few expressions is old Joni, but we love him nevertheless.
The flying Finn, Joni Tormela. Really taking the fight to Kevin Siggy on the old facial hair down there. In the bottom left-hand corner of your screens, watching the concentration on his face as we watch this on board through this iconic and incredible Spa-Francorchamps circuit. He's coming now in towards the Blanchimont section, and it is Alejandro Sanchez jumping into the car for the Aston Martin team. He's going to be doing the second run between the three teammates, meaning Simon Weigang will be the third and final driver to take to the track. Joni Tormela, though, he is going to be the one to do the Joker lap, as it looks like Sanchez getting ready. He is going to have to try and time this to perfection. Looks like it's done quite well, but coming out of the first corner now, it looks like Joni Tormela is going to be behind, but he's going to tuck up through that slipstream. He's going to be able to get on the power and up to speed a lot earlier than that Aston Martin car, but 0.8 of a second, that is a big gap for Joni Tormela to catch up on one straight. We're going to see whether he can do it, though. On the power, it's gaining up to about 1 second, as we can only guess that Sanchez is using his push-to-pass button. 25 seconds of extra power they can use across the lap, and that is what Sanchez would have been doing at that stage. But it is, for the time being, Aston Martin on top of Red Bull.
Yeah, looking really, really strong. Sanchez there, he's actually pulling a gap down the Kemmel straight, and that may be because he could be running less downforce than Tormela as we head through Pouhon. It's looking like Tormela's starting to make some ground, close the gap a little bit more. This is a good lap from Joni. Yep, it's now down to 0.6. So can Sanchez withstand the heat and the pressure from someone who is so well experienced when it comes to the V10 R League? He's been here for a couple of years as Joni, and obviously is very, very well known for his service to F1 Esports Pro Championship. As Sanchez now heads into the bus stop chicane. Good lap from him, and actually pulls the gap to 0.8 as both drivers are now in to the pit lane. So that will be Sanchez done and dusted. Dusted. Done and dusted from his services in the car in this race so far. In the car for Red Bull will be Kasdorf and Simon Weigang.
Yep, Simon Weigang will be taking over in that Aston Martin car. And this is where the pit stop stage, it doesn't look like anything's going on at the moment, but drivers are jumping out of the car, and then they've got to get on the comms to their teammate, tell them as soon as they're out of the server that their teammate can then jump into the car and replace them. They only have 70 seconds on the clock, but if they go too early, they will get a 3-second time penalty added on to the time that they went too early. So say they missed it by 1 second, they went too early, they're going to get a 4-second time penalty. So at the moment we've got Yuri Kasdorp, who's going to be reversing to try and get that run out of the pit lane, but it is of course the Aston Martin team who were leading into the pits. We're waiting to see Simon Weigang drive past the Red Bull of Yuri Kasdorp, and then that's when we're going to be getting racing underway for the final lap of this team relay. There goes Simon Weigang, and out comes Yuri Kasdorp. Who's going to come out on top? It's very close between these two teams, about a second separating both of them for the time being. But Yuri Kasdorp has got a lot to do at the moment if he wants to take away the race win from Simon Weigang and the Aston Martin team. As things stand, Aston Martin are going to be taking that 1 point home to get them off the mark in the group table and take them a step closer to Red Bull and that 3rd position in the group. But it's up to Yuri Kasdorp, who's brought the he's brought the time down to 0.7 of a second at the moment to go down through Rivage and then into the left-hander of no name. Dropping down as the elevation change continues in towards the fast and flowing Pouon section. But Yuri Kasdorp is not gaining enough. The lap is getting away from him. 0.6 of a second now is the gap, so he is gaining on Simon Weigang, but is it going to be enough? There's only a few corners really left to go. It's a very fast flowing section here at Spa-Francorchamps. So we go in towards Stavelot and then onto this long back straight, flat out all the way through here. And it looks like Yuri Kasdorp has gained a heap of time as the gap is 0.3 of a second heading down into the bus stop chicane. Both drivers are going to be using their push-to-pass buttons all the way through this section now. Braking late into the bus stop section. Can Yuri do anything? He sends it right up the inside, but goes a bit too deep. There's contact between himself and Simon Weigang. Weigang looks like he's going to get better. No, he's not. Yuri Kasdorp takes it right at the line. Red Bull take the point, but I'm sure that's going to go to the stewards. But for now, Red Bull Racing are 1-0 up over Aston Martin, and Simon Weigang is not going to be happy about that one at all.
Wow. I mean, that had everything. As you can see from the Red Bull guys, Joni Tomler, that almost looks like emotion. He's a very cool Finn and doesn't show too much of his feelings in his face there, but they're all a little bit shocked, stunned maybe, but they've got that point. In the words of Ariana Grande, a little bit of your heart goes there to Simon Weigang because it went right to the line.
Are you a fan?
I'm a huge fan, and let me, Stuck With You is another one of my faves. Listen, that race right there had everything. We know neither of these teams has got a win yet, and when you've got racing at Spa that goes right to the final bit, that just has everything. I cannot wait now for the team race after that.
It's going to be incredible because all drivers seem very similar on pace. There wasn't like there was one driver running away with it. It looked like all 6 of them are going to be very close. But let's hope that they have a lot of overtakes as well. Spa-Francorchamps is a circuit which does promote overtaking, a lot of flat-out sections, a lot of heavy braking zones. So fingers crossed, it's only going to get better from here.
Great battle, a back and forth right at the end, Nick. I mean, we'll wait for the stewards and everything. They'll be looking into some of the contact made there, but we're watching it now. What did you make of this overtake from Yuri? And then it just went too wide. What happened, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, he had to go for it, didn't he? It was a shame that he didn't stop enough for the corner, which was a bit of a shame. But yeah, I mean, Simon Weigang is not necessarily going to be happy with that one. He did end up having to cut the chicane, so the stewards are going to have a look at that. But then Yuri ended up taking the win and the victory anyway on exit, so we'll have to wait and see.
I will let the stewards do what they need to do right now. You go and maybe have a cup of tea, a soft drink. Well, I don't know how hot it is wherever you are. It's pretty hot in the studio right now. Go and enjoy yourself. When we come back, we'll find out who got that point between Aston Martin and Red Bull. welcome back to the Gfinity Arena for the V10 League. Myself, Tom Deacon, Nick Hamilton, and Hayden Gullis. Hayden, we have witnessed some great action there. One of 3 races. The relay is done and dusted. How annoyed do you think Simon Weigang will be right now after that incident towards the end, which gave Red Bull the first point?
Very. I know Simon Weigang, and he does tend to wear his heart on his sleeve, so I feel like it is going to get to him. But it's up to his teammates to really cool him down, be like, you know what, we had that, we can go into this team race, we can still get the point there. And of course, it's still up to the stewards what will happen. But yeah, a bit unfortunate. I don't blame Yuri Kazdorp for what he did. He had to send it. And he did just about make the corner, but did he leave enough room on the outside? Should Simon have switched back? It's all up to the stewards to discuss.
Yeah, that's what racing's all about, Nick. Let's confirm then the result after the stewards have had a look at that. And the winner is, yes, from crossing the line first, Yuri Kazdorp gives Red Bull the first point of this middle of the table battle of midfield. We're currently at Spa-Francorchamps. We'll be going for the team race. That's the 3v3 next. Then after that, we'll have a little bit of Mugello. Heat in Mugello. That's pretty hot right there.
It's going to be a roaster when they get there.
Yeah, it definitely is, Nick. Listen, we will talk about that in just a second. Before that, the team race. You might have questions about this. What is involved in the team race? Well, I put together this to help you. Each team race involves all 3 drivers, in each team competing at the same time across 6 laps. Teams are awarded driver points based on the finishing positions of their drivers. The team with the highest combined driver points is the winner and picks up 1 match point. There you have it then, team race. That's what it's all about. And I can show you and my guest, Nick and Hayden. Before we go to the race in about 30 seconds, Bianca Lila is in P1. Joni Tormala, both the most consistent drivers of these 2 teams, backed up by 2 Aston Martin. This is theirs for the taking, Hayden.
This is looking very good for the Aston Martin team so far. Bianca Lila, he was the star of the Aston Martin team last week, and it looks like he is doing that once again. But look, Tormala is still up there. It all depends on the front row, and when the lights are on, engines revving, we're racing. Aston Martin look like they've got off to a fantastic start. It's looking like maybe a 1, 2, 3, but the Red Bulls sandwich the Aston Martin through turn 1, and it is all so close between the drivers. But Bianca Lila looks like he's got off to a fantastic start in the Aston Martin car, and now it's up to his teammate to try and fend off for the Red Bulls as one of them's gone round at the top of Radion there. That is looking really bad for the Red Bull team, but they can still potentially make it a draw if they can take this race win. We have one of the Red Bulls up the inside into the Lecon section. The Aston Martin still holding things at the moment. It's 1, 2, 4 for Aston Martin. Red Bull, they're currently in 3rd and 5th, and one of their drivers is way off the pace after that early incident. But a cracking start there for Aston Martin.
Yeah, Bianca Lina's already checked out, hasn't he? See you later. Very, very good start from the Aston Martin team. As we got a replay, here's Simon Weigang going up the inside of, I'm not quite sure who that is, but Simon Weigang just a little bit of a taparoo, but got away with it. Here we go now. This is Joni Tormala. Ooh, trying to get on the outside, and I think just a little clip, and unfortunately, round she went. That's Yuri Kazdorp, sadly, and he is now 17 seconds off the back of the pack. So a lot of work for him to do, but Bianca Lila doing a great job out front. Bianca Lila, doing a good job out in front, as I said, and Joni Tormala trying to do his best with Sanchez, really doing a good job in P2.
Apologies for the timing screens at the moment, but they have all sorted themselves out on lap 2 out of 6 of this team race at Spa-Francorchamps. Bianca Lila leading the way from his teammate Alejandro Sanchez, with Joni Tormala in 3rd, Simon Weigang 4th, Liam Parnell in 5th. And unfortunately, it was Yuri Kazdorp who just seemed to lose the back end as he rose over the crest of Radion, unsettled the car, tried to catch it, but at that point, it was just a little bit too late, and into the barriers he went. 18 seconds off the pace now, and it looks like his race is pretty much job done. But it's up to Joni Tormala now, because if he can dethrone Bianca and take the race win, then it could be a draw for the Red Bull team. So that's just potentially what could happen between the two of them, because Red Bull don't want Aston Martin to be getting points. It's a tense midfield battle, the battle for third position in the group at the moment. Of course, Red Bull took the victory in the team relay, but Aston Martin are going to want to come back here. Bianca just running away at this race at the moment, and that is what we saw last time out when they battled Team Redline. He really took it to the fight to those guys. He looked like he was the quickest driver in that team. But Sanchez is going to have to defend from Joni Tommler. Things at the moment look good, and even if Tommler does overtake Sanchez, then Aston Martin are still on to score that point. But you don't want to let them through, do you?
No, you don't. You don't. You don't want to give them any reason to feel good about themselves. This is all about competition. Competition, you don't want to give up any spaces, any points. Bianca with a good lap there, 42.8. Good lap from him, and Joni Tommler now is going to get the hammer down, gets the traction, maximises his exit as we head down the old start and finish straight into Eau Rouge. But it looks like Sanchez actually pulled a bit of a gap, so that means Aston Martin may be running a little bit less downforce than the Red Bulls, so you may see Tommler start to catch Sanchez through the tight and twisty sections here as we send it over the exit curb, down into the right-hander. Downhill's always bumpy under braking there. You can easily lock it inside front into the corner of no name, in brackets Jeff, and down into Pouon. And yep, it's exactly what I thought. Tommler actually starting to close that gap now, but as we go to the third section or sector of this circuit, down the back straight into Blanchimont, for example, you may start seeing Sanchez eke out that gap even more with that less downforce.
Yeah, it's going to be up to Joni Tommler to really try and get the job done in the corners, because that is looking like where the Red Bull car is quicker. But he is right up behind Sanchez, using that push to pass, maybe going for an overtake right around the outside through Blanchimont. It's wheel to wheel between the two cars, holding on the inside. We'll get the inside line into the bus stop chicane. Looks like Sanchez breaks a little bit later. You get the inside line through the second part of the bus stop. Now they both need to get onto the traction and try and see if they can outclass the other one. The Red Bull car on the inside, going into the corner. Looks like he's got the job done, but no! Contact between the two of them. Contact again. And Sanchez is going to come out ahead, and Weigang now is going to get involved in this battle. He's going to have a fantastic run. I do not know what on earth has happened there to Sanchez, whether he's just clipped the wall on the inside, not paying attention, or there's damage to that car. But that has allowed Joni Tommler now to move up into second place. Simon Weigang going on the attack, though, and overtaking Tommler as they go down in towards Lecombe. Tommler having a little look up the inside of the corner, but can't get the job done. And that is insane. Not too sure what happened, but we're going to get a replay and have a look and see what happened there between Sanchez and Tommler. So Tommler moves over to the racing line of the track, but Sanchez is still there. There's contact, and then there's the second part. But with Sanchez, whether he just lost the back end, getting traction down, running down in towards Eau Rouge, just crashed onto the right-hand side of the barrier and seemed to throw it all away. It seems like a really strange incident there from Sanchez.
Yeah, that really seemed odd. Maybe a potential lag. It would surprise me. You know, I've never seen a driver just continue turning and just turn into the pit wall, basically, which is, yeah, very surprising. Bit of a shame for Sanchez. He was doing such a good job up in P2, and now his teammate Weigang has taken over the baton, as Tommler is now trying to attack Weigang into the bus stop chicane. Is he too far back? Definitely, from what I can see there. A lock-up and a mistake from Simon Weigang. And, oh, did he get away with that? Just about. Joni Tommler struggling there for traction. A little bit scruffy from Aston Martin. Lucky Bianca is out front, 5.8 seconds ahead, as is absolute carnage behind him. Joni Tommler going to go again as we head through Eau Rouge, left and right, up over the top of Radion. And Simon Weigang looking like he's got, you know, a big enough of a gap to defend against Tommler. Parnell is next behind Tommler. He's not going to try and do anything stupid onto his teammate. So that's a good thing for Tormola's sake. And Yuri Kasdorf having a pretty lonely race down in P6. But yeah, a pretty scruffy race, but it's good in terms of excitement. And Bianca Lila and Simon Weigang will definitely take this one as they try and get another point to make it 1-1 in this matchup.
Yeah, Aston Martin looking very good right now. Simon Weigang under pressure from Joni Tormola and Liam Parnell. Although, if my maths is correct, he doesn't really need to fight this, because if Tormola and Parnell do get past him, then he will be in that P4 slot, which would be enough for the Aston Martin team to take the point and it not end up in a draw. But of course, Simon Weigang wants to get the better of these two drivers. They pushed him off the track last time out in the relay race as Tormola late on the brakes into the bus stop chicane. And it looks like Simon Weigang is listening to the comms, because he just let him have that, because there is no need to fight. If he has an incident and falls back behind Yuri Kasdorp, then maybe, who knows, Red Bull could come back into this race or potentially turn it into a draw and take those points away from the Aston Martin team. We're on to the final lap now. Bianca Lila 6-7 seconds ahead of the Red Bull car of Joni Tormola. It's looking like game, set and match there for the Aston Martin team here in Spa-Francorchamps. Simon Weigang using that extra straight line speed that the Aston Martin car has to slipstream all the way down into the Lecombe section. Can't go for the overtake though, and Joni Tormola is going to pull away as the car is just set up much better for the corners, especially around this Spa-Francorchamps. It's such a compromise. You either go for straight line speed or you go for corner speed, and it looks like we've got a difference between the team setups here today, as Nick pointed out earlier on. We got Bianca Lila still leading the way though, 7 seconds ahead of Joni Tormola. Simon Weigang holding it down in third position, which would be enough for the Aston Martin team to take the points. Looks like Liam Parnell has dropped off the pace ever so slightly, as he is now 1.5 seconds off of the Aston Martin car in P4. Unfortunately there for Alejandro Sanchez, doing a fantastic job earlier on, but the crash on the run down in towards Eau Rouge has put him way off the pace in P5. And of course, the spin there from Yuri Kasdorp as well leaves him down in P6. But this man has been absolutely unstoppable so far today. Bianca Lila will take the race win in Spa-Francorchamps, but will he be backed up by his teammates? Joni Tormola will cross the line in second, and it will be Simon Weigang in third, Liam Parnell fourth, and then Alejandro Sanchez followed by Yuri Kasdorp. Aston Martin take home the points, but once again, it's another race with a lot of contact.
Well, there were a lot of twists and turns in that race, and I'm not just talking about the circuit, I'm talking about the back and forth between Aston Martin and Team Red Bull. Bianca Lila had P1 and P2 was for Tormola, and that's how it finished, the 1-2. But because Bianca Lila finished first and Simon Weigang finished in third, it means that they take that point. That is the provisional point given out. We'll wait for the stewards to let us know what's happened, and I think a little bit of, I wouldn't say justice, but a bit of morale boost for that Aston Martin, who felt like they should have probably taken the first point in that team relay. Simon Weigang looks a lot happier, a bit more content. You said just before, Hayden, we went to that race that he puts his heart on his sleeve, and we're seeing the action here early doors. There was a bit of contact, didn't hold them back, and it's watching just in front of him. But it was that contact to Yuri Kasdorp, who ended up dropping off to about 17 seconds behind. It's coming up in just a moment. There it is, spinning out, bit of contact. But tell you what, Bianca Lila did a brilliant job in that race, Hayden.
He really did. I mean, he was just absolutely phenomenal. Just drove away from the start. Of course, putting it on pole is going to help. And it was fantastic stuff. And just to get away from all of this stuff, all the little chaos.
Bumper cars.
Yeah, the bumper cars that happened in the mid-pack. Once you're away from that, it just allows you to get clear, and, you know, he just drove away a bit at the end of the day.
And we saw there, Alejandro Sanchez, I reckon maybe a bit of lag there, because you never see it from these sim racers turning into the wall there, just on the run down to Eau Rouge. But I think a very, very consistent race from the Aston Martin team, and that'll give them that boost, won't it?
For sure, yeah, definitely. They need to now, continue that momentum all the way through to Mugello, they'll be happy with their day's work so far.
Yeah, it was really interesting that contact that we saw in the first relay, and there was loads of contact in that team race. But if we go back to the Kazdorp and Simon Weigang, what did you see here, Nick?
I saw Kazdorf doing quite a late move, a desperate move. He actually didn't even make the corner exit. He locked up and had to pretty much take onto the exit runoff. And obviously, Simon Weigang had nowhere to go. So for me, I would class that as an illegal overtake because he didn't even really make the corner afterwards. So really, it should be 2-0 to Aston Martin from my point of view.
That is Nick Hamilton's take on it so far. Hayden, don't go anywhere because I want your take on it after we have a break. When we come back, we'll be heading to Mugello. You join us here in the V10 R League. We are watching the highlights from the battle between Red Bull and Aston Martin, the battle of the midfield. That's what we've labelled this encounter as. There was contact left, right and centre. Get off me! Into the barriers you go. Try and overtake me. Have some of that. The stewards have had their work cut out. We have an update to give you. Some people will be joining us now. Nick, Hayden saying, I bet they just sit around doing nothing, drinking coffee, eating donuts. Well, not on my watch. We find out what's happening with the stewards. They're the ones that are doing all the work. And there is the result there from the relay, and Aston Martin get that point. Now, before we went to break, I was under the assumption, gentlemen, that it was now 1-1 before we head to Mugello. But I can confirm that stewards have said in the relay race at the beginning, the Red Bull lunge was considered unfair, and therefore, as you see on the screen, Aston Martin are your winners. Absolute game changer. That is now a 2-0 lead for the Aston Martin team, which is a game changer. And there you go, team race results as we see it. That makes it 2-0. That is a bit of a curveball, that, but it did feel like that move was, as you said before we went to break, Nick, a little bit unfair.
I did indeed, and I'm glad that the stewards have
listened to you.
Have listened to me, yeah, because obviously I'm the most important person on the show. But yeah, it's good. It's good for Aston Martin. You know, they work so hard for it. Yeah, 2-0 lead so far. It's all up for grabs, and it shows that Red Bull really now need to start working at the track that they've picked, which is Mugello.
Before this, Red Bull had 2 points. They got a 3-1 defeat against Team Redline, a 3-1 defeat against Mercedes. And now with Aston Martin in their second race, they're level on points. And this is what it's all about, getting to Abu Dhabi for the grand final.
Exactly. We were talking about it earlier about the Team Redline loss for Aston Martin and also the 2 losses for Red Bull that we've had so far. But that doesn't mean that it's game over. That doesn't mean that the series is over. They're just fighting for the last couple of points. There is still a chance to go to Abu Dhabi, and we're seeing it here today. And of course, the matchups when they take on the Team Fordzilla as well later on in the series. So everything is still to play for. But this matchup is going to be very important between these two. And
can you confirm or deny that you wearing Aston Martin colours has helped them today? Can you confirm or deny it?
I'm going to confirm it.
Thank you. Yeah. Also something you've done, which you deserve a shout out for, is going around the key areas that can be gained when you went round on a Mugello hot lap. Do you remember that?
Gullis's guys, I remember it very well.
Yeah, well, you also did one for Silverstone, and that's what we're going to watch now.
Welcome to Silverstone and welcome to a hot lap of this incredible circuit. Heading down into turn 1, almost flat here. A better driver than me will probably be taking that flat out to go through turn 2 now. And then into turn 3, hard on the brakes, an overtaking opportunity come race day, and then into the loop where you've just got to be so precise. You can easily lose a lot of time here because you start this long straight where there is an overtaking opportunity, whether you're on the inside or on the outside, you can make a move. Heading down into Brooklands now, hard on the brakes, and just let the car flow through on the left. Take as much curb as you can possibly get away with into Lovefield, which is a double apex corner. You want to sort of V-shape it and straighten up the car as much as possible on the exit as we now enter the old start to finish straight through Woodcote and then on towards Copse Corner, which of course has been controversial in recent Formula 1 seasons. Down in towards Copse then, allow the car to run out wide. You don't want to go too far on that AstroTurf though, because it will throw you off the circuit. Through Maggots and Beckett's, really attack these corners. Such a great set of corners to drive in any car, especially this V10R car. And you just hear the engine just roaring behind you right now as you head down in towards Stowe on the hanger straight, and then hard on the brakes once again and let the car just flow through Stowe once again. Don't get the car out too far wide as that AstroTurf just wants to eat you up and spit you back out. Onto the brakes, into Club and Vale. Very easy to lock up through there, through Vale now, and then again slowly on the power because it's very easy to lose the back end, and across the line, and that is a lap of Silverstone.
I can hear what you're saying. You're saying, Tom, it's Aston Martin versus Team Red Bull. We're going to Mugello. Why are we watching Hayden Gullis go round Mugello? I know, Silverstone. Why is that happening? It's to show and prove this man is not just a pretty face. He can drive. What did you take from that, Nick?
I didn't really understand what was going on, if I'm honest. I was confused.
But it's just to show off his skills, right?
Yeah, I know, but
Well,
had nothing to do with it. We're meant to be racing in Mugello.
Well, that's where we're heading to.
Here we go, yeah, here we go. Lights are on, engines revving. We're racing Red Bull versus Aston Martin. It's a really good start off the line there for the Red Bull driver of, I believe, Liam Parnell up against Bianca Lila. As they head down in towards turn 1, Parnell having a look around this long right-hander, then into the chicanes, which sort of mirror each other, the first chicane and the second one, with the second one being slightly faster than the first. Aston Martin, though, leading the way as it stands, with Red Bull following behind at the moment. Liam Parnell actually dropping off quite a bit. Looks like Bianca Lila is on fire at the moment, pulling out a whole whopping second lead over the Red Bull team.
He has 1.1 seconds already. Old Liam Parnell looking super focused at the moment, doing a good job for Red Bull, but this is a great first lap for Bianca Lila. Just showing his craft, showing how fast he is out of the box. And as we head into the final corner here at Mugello, will Bianca Lila peel off into the pit lane, or will he carry on to his Joker lap? And Joker lap it is. Parnell should be in. Yep, in he comes, as Tourmala's normally been the guy for the Joker laps for Red Bull. Bianca Lila definitely doing a good job leading the team. Very consistent. Got a lot of raw pace as we go through the left and through the right at the moment. He's super calm, super relaxed. No one can touch him currently. Super impressive from Bianca Lila.
Yeah, he's looking really good as it stands at the moment. Red Bull, those are going to be handing over surely to Joni Tourmala. Looks like the tactics haven't really changed between the teams in the 2 relay races. Bianca Lila goes first, does the Joker lap. Then Liam Parnell goes into the pit lane with Joni Tourmala heading out after him and then doing the Joker lap. We'll see whether things change this time around, but this is our first time around Mugello as we are going on board with Bianca Lila through the right-hander and then heading out through this flat-out section. Goes through an incredible chicane that I absolutely love because it's just flat out through there. You pick one line and then you just foot to the floor. And then through the final corner, we're going to be seeing Bianca Lila peel into the pit lane now at the end of this lap as Joni Tourmala still in the pits as it stands, and away they go. So Red Bull are underway and now they play catch up as Bianca Lila is going to be handing over to his teammate. The 70-second starts at that pit entry line. They have to make sure that they exit the pit lane after the 70 seconds, no earlier. But for Joni Tourmala, it is all about putting in the qualifying laps and seeing whether he can catch up that gap.
Yep, Tourmala, it's all down to him now. That's probably the best stint you could expect from Bianca Lila. Absolutely amazing in terms of consistency and pace. Setting the fastest lap there on a 1:18.0. Obviously, no one else has set a full lap because they've come straight into the pit lane, but still to eke out that gap of a second to a second and a half, what a great job from Bianca Lila. Sanchez will be next in the hot seat for Aston Martin, as this is Joni Tourmala's start to his stint. Will he do the Joker lap for Red Bull? I'm pretty sure he will. Am I right? Majority of the time, I feel like I'm right, don't you think, Hayden? Let's see. Is Nick right? Yes, he is, obviously. So, Joni Tourmala now down at the pit straight, starting his second lap, and Sanchez coming out of the pit lane. Pretty close.
It really is. Sanchez on the inside to go through turn 1, but Joni Tourmala going the long way round. Can he pull it off? He's got the inside line through the chicane. Sanchez, though, holding it. There's contact again. Will these two cars not come together? Joni Tourmala, fantastic car control there to keep it pointing in the right direction, but that is going to be an absolute disaster for the Red Bull team as they have lost 2 seconds. And I'm sure they're going to be straight on the phone to the stewards to try and see if they can get anything out of this race still, because as it stands, it's looking like it's going to go Aston Martin's way. But big disappointment there for Joni Tourmala. Cracking move right around the outside.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Joni to be in that position. Potentially, the race stewards could see it as a racing incident. Didn't look like there was any malice in there, just Yoni ran out of space, I would say. As Sanchez will now come into the pit lane, so will Yoni. And that means now Simon Weigang will be in the hot seat for Aston Martin. And Yuri Kasdorf with it all to do for Red Bull. It's controversial again as we're into the pit lane for the final time for these drivers and also teams, because we've got one lap left. And let's see what can happen.
Anything can happen in the V10 R League, and it usually does. We've got one lap left to go between these two cars. Obviously, we've seen contact between the two of them, but incidents can happen in the pit lane. Miscommunication, you might not be told that your driver's out of the server. You could be a little bit delayed jumping into the server, and that could be a chance for the other team to gain a little bit of time on you. So we'll have to wait and see. Aston Martin should be the car that leaves the pit lane first, whether they decide to reverse up and get a run out of the pit lane or just go straight from their box. We'll have to wait and see. Yuri Kasdorf into the car now. Sounds like a little bit of revs going. Both drivers into the cars, all fine, no technical issues there. We can hear a little bit of revs from the cars at the moment, and we are underway once again. There goes Simon Weigang, out goes Yuri Kasdorf, and a little bit slow on the pit limiter, turning that off. So it's going to be a little bit of loss of time, but 2.5 seconds still the gap between the two teams at the moment. Simon Weigang, though, needs to make sure he keeps his cool. He lost out last time when there was a big send from the same driver, Yuri Kasdorf, into the final corner. I feel like it would have to be an absolutely phenomenal send to go side by side into the last corner here from 2.5 seconds back, but who knows? We will wait and see between the two drivers. Yuri Kasdorf through the right and then the left of this incredible circuit. It's a shame we haven't come here often, but it's so easy to put a foot wrong, and it's very difficult to go wheel to wheel with your opponent, but the onboard laps are just absolutely sensational. Through the left now, on board with Simon Weigang. Only a handful of corners left to go for Aston Martin to make it 3-0 up against the Red Bull team through the flat-out chicane now, and one more corner left to go for Simon Weigang. A long sweeping left-hander, which is very easy to get on the throttle too early, run out of room and drive off into the gravel, or maybe that's just because I'm a bad driver. Across the line, though, Simon Weigang takes victory in Mugello. He's going to make it 3-0 for the Aston Martin team. Yuri Kasdorf can only settle for second place, but again, a race filled with a bit of contact.
The battle of the midfield is heating up. Aston Martin taking on Red Bull. Red Bull really need this point because in this group league, it's Group B, they are really battling against it. Aston Martin already have 2 points. That makes it equal, 2 apiece in the league standings. But in this matchup, Red Bull needed to get back into it, and currently, as it stands, Aston Martin crossed the line, which would make it 3-2-0. But I'm hearing in my ear, stewards are looking into a few incidents. So could that make it 2-1 up the Mugello race here? It had a bit of everything. It got battling. It went back and forth. Biancolini did a great job to start off against Parnell. He stayed on for the Joker lap. Then up stepped Johnny Tormala, and again, him and Alejandro with the Sanchez, with the contact, Nick. I mean, there was one point during your commentating where you said, is Nick right? Yes, he normally is. A lovely moment, Nick. And you were right on the money there. There was that bit of collision that I was mentioning against Alejandro Sanchez. But Aston Martin looking very dominant here.
They are indeed. Actually, now having a look at that instant between Sanchez and Tormala, to me, it's 6 of one. 6 of one,
half a dozen of the other.
Half a dozen of the other, I would say. Yeah, you'd probably look at Sanchez and say, well, could he have given Tormala a little bit more space on the outside? He knew he was there. It looked like Sanchez's left front tyre clipped Tormala, or could Tormala have given Sanchez a bit more room because Tormala had space on the exit still, or on the outside of the circuit? So we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, it's been a real tough day for Red Bull, hasn't it? At the moment, they've lost out on a lot of points, which they could have got some points from Spa if it wasn't for Yuri Kazdor's late dive bomb. And then a potential loss of a point here. So they potentially lost, 2 points, which is everything in the V10 League.
Yeah, and stressing that word potentially they will go 3-0 down at this point, and therefore Aston Martin leapfrog them in the table. Is that, well, it's provisionally that's how it's looking, but we'll find out if that is the case after we take a short break. This is the V10 League. I'm Tom Deacon. This is Nick Hamilton and Hayden Gullis to my side. We're watching all of the... Did you give a wave then?
No, salute.
Oh, salute. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Listen, we are loving the action that we are witnessing today. Currently, we're in the middle of the Aston Martin versus Red Bull race. Few incidents in that last race, and I can confirm after... Wow, that is the difference there. which comes down to absolutely nothing. Aston Martin, the winners of the relay race there, which makes it 3-0 to Aston Martin going into the final team race. And I look at the results that Red Bull have already had. Previously in round 1, they got a 3-1 loss. In round 2, they had a 3-1 loss. They could get another 3-1 loss, but that must be gutting for them right there.
Yeah, definitely, because, I mean, Red Bull, they lost to 2 of the big hitters. That's okay. We move on to it. We go beat Aston Martin. We go beat Fordzilla, and we're in P3. All of a sudden, Aston Martin got 3-0. Not only are they beating them today, but they've also leapfrogged them in the table, and Aston Martin are in that P3 slot. So it's going to hurt them, but it's a great result for Aston Martin.
Yeah, how do you fire yourself up? How do you fire yourself up for this, Nick, now? You're Red Bull, and you feel like you've unfairly taken away a point from you.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for them, isn't it? Especially now with Bianculila on pole in the team race, Tourmalet thereabouts, with Weigang there as well. So Red Bull are definitely struggling. But yeah, how they're going to pick themselves up, we will wait and see. But the time is now. Sorry, I've actually taken your job from you, Hayden. But we're on board with Yuri Kasdorf, and down the middle comes another Red Bull driver. Who is that? Oh, base is restarting.
Oh, look at that. We've gone into the ground.
Wow.
That is what it looks like from the grid to circuit. I'm glad we're restarting. What happened there, for anybody watching? Basically, Nick Hamilton took over Hayden's role there.
I did.
And Hayden has pushed reset on the PC.
He didn't like it. He didn't like me doing a good job.
He didn't like it. Was the salute that started.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy about that. Listen, we will restart that race, getting into Mugello. You did mention earlier on, as Nick did, in terms of overtaking opportunities, can you get at Bianculila? If he gets a good start, it's going to be really hard to catch him.
Turn 1 is the best and really only opportunity. I know we saw side-by-side action between Yoni Tourmalet and Sanchez through the chicane as well, but it was set up through turn 1, and that's really the only big braking zone in this track. So you've just got to get that slipstream all the way down. It's a very long start-finish straight, and then try and maybe go around the outside, inside. Because it's a long corner, there's potential for different lines, and it could allow an overtake.
Yeah, so Bianculila, P1, and then in P2, you have Yoni Tourmalet. And it's sort of resting on Yoni Tourmalet's shoulders here to somehow get that overtake on Bianculila, stick with him, and make sure the rest of the team behind are able to match the equivalent and get enough points here. But he looks calm. He looks collected from what we just saw there of Yoni, but it's all on his shoulders, is it not?
Yeah, it is. He's not going to be a happy bunny. He's not going to be a happy bunny, surely not. Oh, and
this
is this it, or is this a
no? This is just a recap. Bianculila builds the gap.
He was ready
Again,
to steal my job
I was ready. I was ready to take it.
This is just showing how Bianculila builds that gap, and he's in the zone, basically, and then that makes it even harder for Yoni Tourmalet because you know someone's driving well. It's not as if he's making any mistakes, so it's hard to capitalise on something that isn't there.
No, he smashed it. Like, the gap at the end of this stage was over a second, which is bigger than anything I think we've seen so far in the series on an opening lap where there hasn't been an incident. So compared to him and Parnell, he was just on it all the way through. Remember, this is the track that Red Bull picked, not the track that Aston Martin picks. The fact they've gone here and been so much quicker in the opening stage of the team relay shows us, I think, just how good Bianculila is.
He's been fantastic in the F1 Esports and other platforms that he races on as well, Nick. But in terms of confidence-wise and mentality, when you know someone's racing so well, how do you raise your drive?
How do you raise your game? Well, that's the hardest. That's going to be that's the hardest thing, especially when you know you're up against it. Obviously, the matchup hasn't gone that well. You're 3-0 down. How the hell do you pick yourself up? Well, your guess is as good as mine, really, because it is very difficult. But with Red Bull, they've got to at least try and it's damage limitation, isn't it? They've got to try and at least get 1 point. Obviously, Bianculila is going to make life really tough starting from P1. So the only way Red Bull are going to do it is if Tourmalet goes round the outside, round the inside, into turn one. It needs to happen, really, for them to at least take a point.
I'm expecting a big capital L for lunge as I put the kickstart this race in Mugello as it gets off the line. You know the Sanchez is there. He's got that ability. We know that Simon Weigang, I feel like he maybe has something to prove to any doubters out there from his F1 Esports experience over the last couple of seasons. But then there's Kasdorp as well and Parnell. We know Leon Parnell was part of the Red Bull team in the F1 Esports, and therefore they've all got something to prove. But when you were pushing to the limit, mistakes can happen.
Mistakes can happen indeed, and we've seen it so far. Between these two matchups, they've come together quite a few times so far in the races that we've seen today in Spa, especially in that midfield battle. I think potentially we're going to see it again where Biancalila just sort of runs away with it and a few of the drivers trip over each other, but it's up to Joni Tomala to stop that, get ahead of Biancalila, but also one of his teammates, maybe Kasdorp or Parnell, to just get into that P4, and then that's the point for Red Bull.
I think it's fascinating when you look at this group table, when you see that Red Bull, we predicted them to be very strong this year. They've lost this one as well. It doesn't matter really what happens. They might get a point on the board, fantastic. That means they'll be level. I suppose that's the best outcome that they can get right now. But for other teams, is this a bit of a surprise, do you reckon, for them? They get the strength of Red Bull and they've not delivered. Does that give hope to some of the teams that have only raced once already?
I think potentially Team Fordzilla are going to be looking at this, because if Red Bull even up the scores 3-3, then Team Fordzilla can come straight back into this, because it's only 3 points ahead. As you said earlier, every point is important. So it's important for Red Bull to get this point to even the scores, but also Team Fordzilla will be looking at this being like, we can still get in this.
Yeah, and in terms of teams that we saw earlier on race Team Redline, that dominance, they're kind of thinking they really are one of those insane teams. That's what Ziggy mentioned to us, that basically we haven't raced against an insane team yet, but it gives them even more confidence. Those teams, like, I reckon we could beat anyone right now.
Yeah, I mean, Siggy and his team, they're going to be super confident with the way they've been driving at the moment, how they've been working as a team. We saw that, on the first matchup today, where Team Redline were working perfectly as a team. They didn't make any mistakes. They knew exactly what their roles were, and that's where Team Fordzilla became unstuck almost. They seemed a bit disjointed. They didn't lack pace. And commitment, because Emre Shehan was showing that he had that commitment and the pace to go with it. Just falling at the final hurdle, like I said before. But it is a shame for Red Bull in this matchup. You see Red Bull, doing so well in so many different aspects of the brand, whether it's in gaming, whether it's in real life racing. So you're used to seeing Red Bull doing well. It doesn't mean that they're struggling and that's a real disaster, but it's just because everyone's got such high expectations of Red Bull, and it's a shame to see them, struggling in the first couple of races or matchups of the season.
Definitely. I will say that while we wait for the race to restart in Mugello with Aston Martin versus Red Bull, I'd like to draw your attention back to that moment in the last race for Relay. Alejandro Sanchez in the pit. We can see what went wrong. He got that 3-second penalty for exiting too early. And it's so easy to make mistakes in the pit, and that can be the difference. That could be you throwing away a point for your team in this competition. Makes it so much harder. You just have to be perfect in the pit lane.
You do, and it's such a small window. You have the 70 seconds when you come in, when you go out, but you've also got to time it, because if you go too late, you can also lose time to the people behind. So you want to be as close to zero as you possibly can when you exit the pit lane, and because when you do that, there is the room for the error to go too early.
Question. Yes, hands up.
Can I just make a point?
Nick Hamilton.
Can I make a point?
Can you?
So Red Bull, also Aston Martin went too early with Sanchez.
Yeah.
If Sanchez didn't go too early,
yeah,
Red Bull will have overtaken them. They wouldn't have had that accident, and Red Bull would have come out with a point.
Game changer.
Ooh.
I like that. And it's those fine margins, the difference that it can make. I believe in someone in the pit lane, 0.5 in terms of time difference. I was hearing in my ear there. Well, I'll get the full stat on that. But it really does make that difference. And then you feel like you're chasing it, and that's when those mistakes can happen.
But half a second would have made that difference. Let's
Massive.
say, for example, would have made the difference. Red Bull or Tomala wouldn't have had to have fought around the outside. He would have been half a second ahead, which is enough. when they were so side by side. So,
well,
I know I'm right.
He's always right. It's Nick Hamilton, the most experienced of the V10 R-League desk today. 3 seasons in the game. Well, listen, it was your debut last week, Hayden. Now you have Mugello.
Here we go. The lights are on, the engines are revving, and we're going racing in Mugello for the first time, and we are underway. Aston Martin lead the way with Bianca Lila, but Joni Tormela has got off to a fantastic start. Tucks up behind the slipstream, goes right around the outside in towards turn 1. Bianca Lila backed up by his teammates, though, in 3rd and 4th. But Joni Tormela tries to have a little look around the outside of turn 1. Can't quite get the job done. But there's more contact. Both Aston Martins have gone. And this could potentially be looking like a draw, although Yuri Kastrop is down and involved in that as well. Big crash between the Aston Martin guys. Bianca Lila is not going to be liking this because he's got 2 fast Red Bull drivers all over the back of him. And what sort of happened at the start there? That was insane.
I wasn't really sure what happened. It's absolutely carnage, which is a shame. It's a shame to see a few struggles from Sanchez and Kasdorf. We've got a replay coming in very shortly. Now, we've got some idea is the fact that, oh, wow. So that would have been Sanchez absolutely just bulldozing everybody else in front of him, which caused a massive pileup. What an unfortunate error from Sanchez there. We will wait and see if the stewards say anything about that, but I don't think they will. Bianca Lila, 9/10 gap between himself and Joni Tormela. It pretty much looking like, you know, this is how it's going to be. I know we're on lap 2 only out of 6, but from my experience around here, once Bianca Lila's gone off into the distance, which she pretty much has, Tormela's not really going to be able to do much about it.
No, indeed. The one overtaken opportunity being down at turn 1. Sorry to correct you, but it was in fact Yuri Kasdorf was the one who basically yeeted one of the Aston Martin drivers. But the other one just seemed to spin it on their own, maybe get on the power too early or just distracted by what was going on in the mirrors behind them. But as you say, Bianca Lila is just being absolutely phenomenal, which is, again, it's insane to say because this is the track that Red Bull picked, but Bianca Lila has just been on top form. But Simon Weigang is doing an incredible job as well because he is in P4, which is very important for the Aston Martin team to potentially make it a clean sweep, which would be incredible after losing last week out to Team Redline.
Yeah, so this is really interesting what you just said, Hayden, because obviously Red Bull chose Mugello and Aston Martin are leading this race. They've led pretty much every race around here so far, and it just shows that, you know, all of the teams, all of the drivers have to do a lot of work at all of the circuits because they don't know what their competitors are going to choose, and so, you know, whether Bianca Lila likes Mugello or not, this is where he's racing, and it just shows that you've got to know every inch of every circuit on the calendar so that you can take advantage of situations where teams choose their favorite circuit, but they don't manage to get everything collected together. And that's exactly what we're seeing with Bianca Lila now leading from Joni Tormela. 1.3 seconds is the gap. And you'd be expecting Red Bull to run away with this since they chose this circuit. They would, you know, be super comfortable and competitive here. But Bianca Lila showing that, nope, he wants to take the win for himself and maximise the points for the team.
Red Bull could not get the better of Bianca Lila with the tricks there, and he is leading the way 1.1 seconds ahead of Joni Tormela. Liam Parnell backing up his teammate in P3, but as it stands, it is not enough to take the victory and, of course, take the point as well. Simon Weigang is in P4 with Alejandro Sanchez P5. Yuri Kasdorp down in P6, 9 seconds off the back of Sanchez and also Weigang. Kasdorp needs to be in that P4 position in order to take it to a draw and at least remain 1 point behind for the Red Bull team. There is still just over 2 laps of this race left to go. A mistake could easily happen for Bianca Lila, and if it does, that will switch it and give the point to Red Bull Racing. But Biancalila just looks like there is going to be no mistakes coming his way.
It really doesn't. Biancalila's looking super, super strong. Almost like we saw Siggy with Team Redline. We're seeing the same with Biancalila. And yeah, he's not put a foot wrong all day. I don't want to give him the commentator's curse as we've still got a couple of laps left. But no one looks like they're going to be knocking Biancalila off his perch. As Liam Parnell down there in third place, 3.8 seconds behind his teammate. Biancalila comes across the line with a 17.3. 17.3 as well from Tormala. And Parnell actually quite a bit slower than the front two on an 18.0. And actually being caught by Simon Weigang, but there's quite a big gap between Weigang and Parnell. But if Weigang can sit where he is currently in fourth place, that should easily be another point to Aston Martin to make it a clean sweep.
Yeah, the clean sweep is looking on at the moment for the Aston Martin team. Biancalila doing absolutely fantastically over this head-to-head battle between Aston Martin and Red Bull Racing. Joni Tormala, he has been on it so far in this race, but it has not been enough to take away from Biancalila as it stands. We are heading into nearly the final lap of the race. We're about halfway through the fifth lap here with Biancalila leading the way to Tormala, Parnell in third and Simon Weigang in fourth position as we head through the flat-out chicane now, watching Joni Tormala try and hunt down Biancalila as they go through the final corner to start the last lap of this race. Sanchez and Weigang catching up to Liam Parnell, but I don't think it's going to be enough to really mount a charge as Joni Tormala sets the fastest lap of the race so far, brings that gap down to 1.1 seconds. Has he left it though just a little bit too late? Turn one being the only real overtaking opportunity, so if he wants any chance to get past, it's probably a little bit too late now, but we will wait and see over this last lap. Joni Tormala now through the second chicane, through the left and then the right, and then foot to the floor all the way through this downhill right-hand section. Very easy to run it out a little bit too wide or take too much curb on the inside and lose all of your progress you have done so far. Uphill again through the right-hander, blind corner coming up. You've just got to hit the brakes and then spot your apex at the last second. Through the left now, and he is still just holding on to the back of Biancalila, but Biancalila is just not cracking at the moment through this long right-hander, hugging the apex as much as you possibly can, back on the power, and then through this flat-out chicane before we head into the last corner now of this race. Biancalila started from pole. He has been absolutely phenomenal in these head-to-heads, and he is going to take victory in Mugello, and it is also going to be a 4-point, a clean sweep for the Aston Martin team. Joni Tormala finishes in second place with Liam Parnell in third. Simon Weigang with the spin will finish in fourth, and as Sanchez in P5 after being absolutely yeeted by Kasdorf at the start of the race. But that was not enough to take away the points from Aston Martin, and now they lead Red Bull in the title.
I had my eyes closed for the whole time, but you guys delivered the words that described exactly what was happening on that track. I had my one eye open.
You were sleeping.
No, I wasn't sleeping. I was trying to take it all in. It was epic. I don't think anybody expected a 4-0 clean sweep from Aston Martin. They got off to a fantastic start with Biancalila. Red Bull went for it. They got the elbows out. They went for that lunge, but later on, as you will see, Kasdorf just got it all wrong. And unfortunately made his Red Bull teammate Joni Tormala, who was leading, trying to get that overtake. There we saw that incident. If he could have got the overtake on Biancalila, it gave Red Bull a chance of getting that point. As it was, in the end, let's fast forward to the ending. Biancalila has been incredible, almost on a par with the likes of Kevin Siggy. We've seen with James Baldwin, we've seen with Jarno Otmir. These guys are the best of the best for a reason. Biancalila has led his team to a 4-0 clean sweep. From round 2 last week, their debut in the V10 R League Season 3, they had no points. Now they have 4. That is an incredible turnaround. You wore the colours. That's given them everything they needed, Hayden. Just fantastic performance from Aston Martin.
Yeah, they're going to be calling me up later, hoping that this jacket stays for the rest of the series. But great job there from Aston Martin. Yeah, it's hard to come back from a 3-0 loss, especially when you're up against someone as good as Team Redline. But they come back and they've got the 4 points. 4 points, a clean sweep. That's only been done by a few teams in this series, so it's a cracking job from them.
Yeah, Red Bull, did they throw it away at times, or was it just Aston Martin's dominance? It's an interesting way to look at it. Did Red Bull throw parts of it away, or did Aston Martin just be that better team today?
Potentially, yes. Obviously, Yuri Kastorf with quite a few mistakes today, which has actually cost the team some vital points. Yep, they haven't really been as clinical as we're used to seeing Red Bull. It's a shame for them to lose, 4-0 clean sweep, which is quite a sizable gap. They probably deserved more, but they can only look at themselves and think, you know what, we should have cleaned up in these sort of areas. But there's more opportunity, and Red Bull are used to fighting at the front, and hopefully we'll see them back, stronger than ever.
Yeah, just want to be clear, I'm taking nothing away from Aston Martin. Due relations for them, and well deserved. Let's just confirm then the match results and how Group A stands. Just to confirm the team race there at Mugello. That's what Hayden wanted. I want some Mugello. Well, he just had a whole feast on it. 15 points to Aston Martin versus Red Bull's 11 points there. That means that Aston Martin get that extra point. 4-0, clean sweep. Wowzers, the V10 R League delivers again. Don't forget, just while I have your attention, there's going to be 2 more races later on today. So maybe there could be another 4-0 clean sweep. We will find out. Driver of the match then, Hayden.
It has to be Biancalila. Come on. I mean, he starts from pole and then he just drives off. I mean, Joni Tomla was there. He kept the pressure on, but it never really seemed to faze Biancalila. He was absolutely phenomenal today, not just in this race in Mugello, but across the whole of the head-to-heads.
What happens now for Red Bull? What do they do now, Nick?
Back to the drawing board, I would say. Back to the drawing board, look at a few of the highlights, watch this back. I would say they'll learn a lot from, looking at their mistakes. The best way of learning is being open to where you can improve. And, they've been in this position before and they've come out well and they've come out stronger. So hopefully let's see if they can do that again.
Oh, perfect. And maybe give you a call because you're always right. So
therefore, that would be able to help.
Listen, we will have 2 more races later on today. I'm looking forward to this. That's Group A done and dusted. If Aston Martin was to take on Team Redline, I'm just going to put you on the spot right now. Out of the performances you've seen, you still think Team Redline are the strongest team?
I do. I just feel like Team Redline has a good team. Aston Martin have some great esports drivers in there. Don't get me wrong, Sanchez and Weigang are great drivers, but it just seems like it's the Biancalila show at the moment for the Aston Martin team. So if they take them on again, it's going to be another victory to Redline. But Biancalila stepping it up at the moment.
£100,000 prize pool on the line in Abu Dhabi at the grand final. Right, that is it. Done and dusted for that Group A. We will move on to this matchup just behind us. We'll be back here at 6 o'clock. It is Suzuki Team Jacer taking on R8G. Nick Hamilton, thank you very much. Hayden Gullis, thank you very much. And thank you very much for watching. Do not go anywhere. Just stay here. No, come back at 6. We'll see you then.